ahead, hit the button. Hit the button, but don't push my buttons. There it is. Hey, everybody. I think we're here. It looks like we are. So, happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I'll be in there eventually. I think it was, whose idea was it to get the couch out today?
It was mine.
Of course it was yours. You would have the good ideas.
I know.
So Lori had a great idea of the couch because it'll be a lot more comfortable for us. And hopefully I won't talk as fast.
Okay.
So how's everybody out there doing? You're going to have to let us know. Make sure the sound's coming across okay and you guys can hear us. We've had a busy day. We were working on fencing today. In fact, for the very first time, we have the entire property fenced. Mm-hmm. The first time. So we've had a lot of problems, as you guys know, with javelina getting in. They continue to get in this week. Just had them in this morning. And literally, we're able to track the tracks back to exactly where we did not get to with our fencing that we've been working on. So that was good to finally get that in place. So, and then you've had some projects this week.
I did. Mm-hmm. I always have projects.
You do always have projects.
All right, we have Kinfolk Farm here. We have Alan.
Hey, guys.
We
hey,
have
Alan.
Juan, Daryl.
Oh, cool. It's all the regulars.
Eric. Megamind. Still like summer.
It is like summer.
We have freezing weather.
What? Where is this at? You're going to have to let us know. It's not here, that's for sure.
Definitely still hot here.
It is like summer here. 80, we were low to mid 8. I think we were mid 80s in the city. Mm-hmm. I think we were up around 80 all week.
Yep. Let's see. Daryl says the sound is good.
Cool.
Juan, it is still hot.
It
Kinfolk, loving the full wine rack behind y'all. Oh, speaking of that.
Oh, speaking of wine. So we actually have a studio audience today. Our son Austin and his fiance Nikki are here, and it's Austin's birthday. So he is a quarter century.
He is
20. You know how they say like when you're a little kid, you're like you're like 12 months, 18 months, that kind of thing. Then you just jump into the years. Now that you're a quarter century, we'll start measuring it by quarter century, decades, etc. Third decade, fourth decade.
Stop. Austin, grab that red wine.
So we need to. So Lori and I finished some wine this week. Well, not finished. That didn't sound right. So we bottled some wine this week. Thank you, assistant. So this, hopefully get that on camera, if he'll pick it up. So that right there is mulberry wine, and it is finished. Now it's not aged, but it's finished. We just got these bottled yesterday. We actually finished them last week with the back sweetening, and we got them bottled yesterday. So this will be on the table for Thanksgiving next year.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
It's fantastic. I think it's my favorite so far.
It smells really fruity.
Yep. All right, so Megamind is in Germany Alps.
Oh my goodness, Germany.
Yeah,
wow.
-8°C.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right, we have Kylan. Hey, guys.
Hi in Germany, by the way.
Tonto.
Hey, Kylan.
Mild in DC.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wait. So is it, when you say mild, what is mild for you guys there? Because we're in December. So are you guys like into the 50s during the day, 60s during the day? You have to let me know.
All right, so we have Juan said hello to you guys. Eric, happy birthday, Austin. Kylan, happy birthday, Austin.
Thank you.
David, hey. Hey, David. Nice, Eric. Austin, the upward climb is over. The downhill starts at 25.
Yeah, actually, I did read that somewhere. They said that basically you stop, men in particular, stop growing, growing. So like, you know, all your features and everything are fully grown in like your early to mid 20s. By 25, that's like supposed to be the cutoff. So I think that's right.
So you're done.
Mm-hmm. I don't know whether to have the mulberry wine or to have rum and coke. I guess I'm just going to have them both.
All right, David, later I'm going to Asgard. All right, see you, David.
Oh my goodness.
The weather is picture perfect here in Baton Rouge.
Wait, Asgard.
Daryl.
What's that?
Nothing.
Baton Rouge. Ooh, that's right. Daryl's in Louisiana. So now picture perfect in Louisiana this time of year. What is that? Is it still like, are you guys in the 60s during the day? Obviously probably a little more humid than we are here, but I'm always curious because obviously I know Southern California and I know Arizona, and they're not too far different.
All right, Ken Folk, thanks so much for y'all's wine series. I learned from y'all, and I'm so addicted to making my own wine.
That's awesome. Yeah, we are too. I think we have, we did a count. What batch was this? Was it 15 or 16?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think this is our 15th or 16th batch. And it gets better, as you know. So you kind of get addicted, but you start realizing kind of your little tricks and ways around certain fruits. And like we're learning that mega alcohol isn't always necessarily good. Mm-hmm. So we'll back off on alcohol.
And definitely need to back sweeten a little bit more than we had been. And
yeah, we definitely were not back sweetening enough.
And letting it sit for, plenty of time to clear up. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have Tonto high of 59s. Juan
that's nice actually.
Asgard sounds like Harry Potter.
Eric, it does.
Enjoyed watching you guys doing crop circles with the sorghum grass.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that posted today. We filmed that a couple weeks ago because we wanted to have some extra videos in there with the holidays, so we weren't spending all the time doing that and editing. And so, yeah, it was fun doing the sorghum. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I had a good time jumping on the cardboard.
The plywood.
Or the plywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, Daryl, 50s to 70s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is perfect. 50 to 70 is truly like perfect temperatures.
All right, Megamind. Tomorrow it goes down to negative 15 degrees Celsius. For us is 25 degree Celsius warm. 30 degree is really rare, but really humid.
Oh, okay.
We can have a 50 degree Celsius difference in 2 days in the winter.
Oh my goodness. That's hard to deal with. I mean, for anything or anybody. I mean, plants would have a hard time dealing with that. Mm-hmm. And people, what are you going to wear to work? What are you going to wear on the farm?
I don't know. All right, Raina, hello. Just took a
Raina.
break from working outdoors to see you two. Does the work ever end?
No, it doesn't. You were literally just talking about that this morning.
Yeah, it's always something to do. You'll never finish because you can't get it all done.
And I think you basically are just coming to terms with the fact that you will always have more to do than you can get done.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you're home.
I know. Alan, Stargate Aliens.
Wait, what? I missed it.
Must have been the
Asgard?
Something. Yeah.
I did see the aliens on there.
Yeah. Oh, that was from David, huh? Kylan, what are you going to call your wooden sorghum smasher? LOL. And what will you plant there in the spring?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I don't know what to call that smasher. I mean, that was just a Hulk smash for me. I just enjoyed jumping up and down on top of it, honestly. I did. And just breaking stuff. It was like, being 5 again. You can jump on it, break the grass because you needed to. Mm-hmm. As far as what we're going to plant behind there, we're not really too sure yet. We've come to the point where we've gotten everything done that was on our original plan. And we're kind of in this weird kind of stationary position where we can't seem to decide on what to do next. I think we're both a little wiped out is part of it. But we've kind of gone back and forth on a couple different things. We do know that we want to get some moringa planted at some point in time, but that side of the property, we're considering maybe doing a casita there. And if we do that, we're going to want to have a garden area that's there in that casita because we'll have folks over staying there. We kind of want to have them to have their own garden beds, a few fruit trees. So we may actually reserve that space for that. So I was thinking a little bit about doing blackberries, doing like a big blackberry patch. We had some folks suggest that, or something that on the perennial side. What we may do next year is just do some annual crops in that soil until we can figure out what's going on there, because we're waiting on the casita just because of the insane prices of everything right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you got some suggestions, we'll take them. We're not sure yet.
All right, Eric, any concerns getting enough chill hours even for some of your low chill varieties with this warm weather still holding on?
Yeah, it's interesting. We had chill hours about 3 weeks ago. we had about 3 or 4 days that dipped below 45. And then, of course, as you know, if you're here in Arizona, we've had no chill hours at all for the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's been very, very warm. We broke a record, from what I understand, in November that was 70 years old. The highest number of days over 80. Is that right?
Yep.
For the month of November. So, I mean, not bad that a record took 70 years to break, but we broke it this year. So I'm quasi concerned. And the majority of our fruit trees here are low chill varieties. We only have a couple that need 400 or 500 hours. Everything else is down to 100, 150. And we're going to dip back down into the low 40s here coming up this week, if the forecast is correct. And as long as we continue that through the rest of December into January, it's not uncommon for us to get chill hours all the way through February. So I don't think we're going to have an issue. I'm more concerned with you guys in the city because you have not seen any chill hours yet. There are still no chill hours in the forecast from what I can see. And for you guys in the city, that could be a challenge because we're 5 or 6 degrees colder here from what you guys are in the city. So it could be a bigger challenge there. But sure, I mean, it's a concern for all of us.
All right, Megamind, we have the 1 day Russian cold wind, and the next day we have warm falling winds from the Alps.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't that crazy? For me, obviously, you guys are a whole world away. And so I'm trying to wrap my mind around where you're at to be talking about the Alps and from Russia and the wind. My mind can't wrap around that for some reason. So, but I can imagine. So the cold, but I would think the cold would come from both. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Alps.
Yeah. Alan, below 70 is freezing in Florida.
That's true.
It's freezing for me too.
It's true.
Daryl enjoyed the turkeys helping you do your boot review.
Yes, they did.
They were pests. They would not leave my hair alone. They were funny. All right, we have Andrew. Hey guys, wanted to say thanks for all your content. Have been inspired by all the things you've grown as I'm in Monterrey, Mexico.
Ooh, very cool. Well, I'm not familiar with that areas, but I'm guessing it's similar climate to us. So yeah, it's interesting. We have a lot of folks from different parts of the world that reach out to us that are in similar climates. A lot of times we don't think about that. I mean, we obviously, Megamind, you're in Germany, which is really cool. But, we have a lot of folks from the Middle East. A couple guys that we know down in Mexico that are following along with what we're doing here. And it's interesting because there are farmers that are doing different things. So we had, I know about a year ago, we had a gentleman who has a fig farm. So it's all fig trees, 2 varieties. He raises mission figs and brown turkey figs down in Mexico. And he's doing those for commercial production. He's got a few hundred plants or trees that he's growing out. And it's just cool to hear kind of what everybody's doing in similar climates. So sometimes I forget and think that we're just talking to everybody that's here in Arizona, and particularly in Phoenix, but it's not the case. And I'm always reminded too that we have different challenges. Like Megamind, you're in Germany, so you have these challenges with these crazy winds coming out of the mountains, and you have different challenges, but we all face them, and we have to overcome those challenges. And it's interesting how things can intersect. So you're dealing with cold winds, we deal with hot, dry winds during the summertime that can be very destructive. So the reverse, but kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's detrimental to the plants. It knocks down the sorghum. Mm-hmm. They were really struggling when we got those hot winds. So yeah, it's interesting.
All right, last winter trees exploded because it was negative 32 degrees Celsius. The one day and 24 hours later, it was sunny and 10 degrees Celsius.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy how just...
But what do? You're out there,
Nothing.
especially if you're on acreage. You go out and you're in, Carhartts and hoodies, and you're out there in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, it's warm.
Yeah.
And you're sweating.
All right, so hello all.
Howdy.
And then I spent the last 2 weeks in Florida, and it was cold, 55 to 75 degrees. You both work with your hands so much. Do you ever run into bark scorpions?
People ask us about scorpions all the time, and we do have scorpions on the property, and usually we run into them around the house. Not inside the house. We've only had one inside the house here. We had more in the house in the city when we were living in the city. But typically we find them in rocks.
Yeah, I rarely see them other than in rocks.
I mean, they're typically in rocks. So you guys know we have a lot of wood chips here. I think the interesting things we find typically in the wood chips are coyotes, rats, mice. We've got
Obviously a lot of bugs.
some snakes, lots of bugs. But yeah, not a lot of scorpions, believe it or not. So maybe they're just hiding well. Probably.
I hope so. Stay hidden. That's fine. All right. Muscadine farmer here from Georgia, Kinfolk Farm.
Very cool.
That's
How's it going,
cool.
guys? So muscadine wine. Ooh, are you guys going to make some muscadine wine?
Yeah, they're the ones, the first ones that were on here that they
Awesome.
that they make wine now.
Oh, very cool. So now, Scuppernong, or I can't remember exactly what it's called because we can't. Muscadines don't do well here. So, are you using the muscadines for your? Well, they were doing a bunch of different ones. You have to let us know if you're using those muscadine grapes for your wine and how much sugar you having to add because I've heard they're very, very sweet.
All right, Daryl purchased a goji berry and another wonderful pomegranate today.
Very good. Goji berries. So we've got that one. So fun fact.
Fun fact.
The very first tree that we bought in Whitman, Lori bought it, was what?
A goji berry.
It was a goji berry.
It was $5, I think, from Lowe's.
Yep. It was on clearance at Lowe's.
Yeah.
I think you got it in, what was that like? You got it in like October?
2014, I think.
I know, it was October or November.
Yeah, and this is actually the one that we have now is a pup from that original one.
Yep, we took a pup from the original one, and it's sitting there over next to the turkeys. In fact, we had very little production on that tree on the old farm. It got massive, but a lot of the production was eaten by birds. We're finding that not only are the fruit larger now that we have it here next to the turkeys, but the birds are not going after the goji berries.
I think because they're right next to the turkeys for some
I
reason.
think it's next.
I don't know.
I think so too.
But they're all over that, so it's kind of weird.
And the birds are all over that area.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And a wonderful pomegranate. You can't go wrong with either one of those. You know, they grow really well. I mean, you can abuse those plants and they still do well. Yeah. Good choices.
That's true.
Really good choices.
All right, we have Aaron from Surprise. Hi, friends.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. We just watched his video.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, we last night. So we do Friday nights are like our catch up for all of our YouTube channels that we watch. And we were watching the video you did planting that dapple dandy. So that was cool. And thanks for the shout out. That was neat.
All right, Andrew, I'm curious to know if you've grown olives where you are.
So you can grow olives here, but we have not. So I don't know whether or not we will. And we talked about them briefly. We had some friends that are just not far from here that we just met this past summer that are growing several different olives. So Chris and Robin.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep, that's right.
So they've got a lot of olives that they're growing there. So we're going to see how they do.
Yeah.
There's so much to process olives. You have to brine them. You know, obviously if you're going to use olive oil, you're pressing them. You know, wine seems to be the thing that we don't mind dealing with as far as having all of this extra labor involved with making them taste yummy. But I don't know whether or not we'll do olives. We use olive oil. So that's kind of what we would need to do. You don't like olives.
No, I don't like olives just by themselves, no.
Right. So that's kind of our first, that's like our first requirement is it's something that we will eat. It's why we don't do dates. A lot of people ask us about dates. I don't like dates. Lori doesn't like dates. So it's just not something that we want to do. We could probably do it from a commercial standpoint, but you know, unless we're really into it, which we're not with those two, it's not something that, at least for now, we're going to try.
Yeah.
But they do well here. Really well.
All right, Kinfolk. Oh, yes, wine. And I use 4 pounds of sugar per gallon of grapes and still have to back sweeten.
Okay. So yeah, very similar to us then. So I wasn't sure because we've never grown those before. But yeah, so you're getting that alcohol content up and then back sweetening. I'll tell you what, that really is the key, is that back sweetening. It's just so important.
As you... All All right, we have Plentiful here. Hi, from Danny and Catherine in
Hey guys.
Michigan.
How's Michigan?
We are traveling right now, so can't chat, but wanted to say hi and enjoying listening in.
Oh, very
Love
cool.
the turkeys boot review too.
Yeah, the boot review was funny. We had they actually reached out to us a couple months ago, I guess, and wanted us to try their boots out and do a review for you guys. So we put that off for a while.
Yeah, he was all over me about that. He's like, "Hello."
Yeah, but we wanted to make sure
Where's the video?
We wanted to make sure they're actually going to be worth it.
Yeah,
because we wanted to give an honest review to you guys. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, they've been really. The boots are really nice.
I really like them.
Yeah,
they're really comfortable. They're really soft, lightweight.
Mm-hmm. Those are the nicest boots I've had.
They're my favorite so far too.
Yeah. So they're comfortable. Even the big bulky ones. Usually I've got really narrow feet, and so it's hard sometimes for me to get comfortable in a boot, but they're actually pretty comfortable right off the bat.
Yeah, they're really, really nice.
And they don't thwap against my leg when I'm walking.
Flap.
Thwap. That's the sound it makes.
Yeah. Well, Danny and Catherine, drive safe.
Yes,
travels,
drive carefully.
Wherever you're traveling to. All right, we had, can you grow date palm in your location?
Yes, definitely. In fact, date palms do really well. There's a couple of, in fact, I think it's Sphinx dates that are kind of the premier date. I don't remember her name, but there is somebody in Arcadia that actually pollinates all of the Sphinx dates in her entire, like her whole community. And she harvests the dates and she sells those dates. So, they definitely do well here. It's very similar to the Middle East, which is kind of the environment that they thrive in. So.
Yeah. All right, Kylan, how about doing a Three Sisters garden in that new space? Corn, beans, and squash all together while you figure out what you want. Lots of food for you, turkeys, and pigs.
I agree. And I think actually we had talked a lot about squash. It wouldn't be hard to add the others. We always like to try to do some type of nitrogen fixer in there, which would make sense in that same Three Sisters scenario. The challenge that we had last year with that area is
it got devoured.
It did, and it was the quail. So the quail came in as soon as they were even taking out the cowpeas. So the cowpeas would get up about an inch to an inch and a half, and then they would wipe them out. So
and even the corn got up a little bit higher, and they ended up wiping all that out.
Yeah, same thing. So it was about 2 inches tall, 3 inches tall. We might have had some rabbits get in there too. I'm not sure. Yeah. So, but yeah, if we can figure that out, which is part of the issue that we have with that area, we'll be okay. For the most part, the sorghum was planted so heavily.
I seeded it.
that it survived just fine. But and actually I was the one that did seed the cowpeas, so apparently I messed that up by not seeding it heavy enough.
So we need to let me seed that area.
You need to seed the cowpeas, I'll do the sorghum.
Okay.
Or you do all of it.
Okay. All right, we have Eric. Any plans to try blueberries? I've had some pretty good harvests from my bushes.
Yeah, we may. So that's one that's definitely a potted variety for us. I think with you here, that's something we could try.
We did try them.
We did. Yeah. Not well. So we tried blueberries in this house in the city. And it was partial sun next to the house. It was bad. We made a lot of mistakes there.
That's how you learn.
It is. So, but I'm glad to hear those are doing well. I know we've had a few folks reach out. Obviously, the biggest thing there is maintaining the soil acidity, so that they take a little bit of work, but it sounds like you're getting around that. That's great to hear. Yeah. So I love me some blueberries.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Take them. All right. I think we're caught up at the moment. So what is today? Besides Austin's birthday.
I was going to say, that's my only thing. It's Austin's birthday. Oh, it's our anniversary. Oh, well, honey. Happy anniversary.
Thanks.
I love the fact that we're on a couch. Oh, sorry. It's our... What anniversary is it?
1 year anniversary of doing Livestream.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is. And it's become one of our favorite things.
Yeah.
Right? So I know it's funny because we have, especially this time of year, we don't get a lot of views. So everybody that's here is regulars. So that's why I can hang out and make out with you on the couch. But no, it was actually a year ago tomorrow.
Yes.
It was December 5th.
Well, December last year was when we first started Livestream.
Yep. So we did that on a whim. So I had my phone out there. We were out taking the chickens out onto pasture. It was not very good.
Yeah.
But you could argue that none of them have been since then. But yeah, it was a year ago today.
Yep.
So that's cool.
All right, so we have Daryl. How is the varmint situation now?
Okay, so if you want to include javelina, I particularly like to. The javelina are slowly being not eradicated. That didn't sound right. They're slowly being excluded from the farm. We had some on the farm last night, and it's because we hadn't finished the fencing. So that's the key. I think we're past the issues with the rabbits. So I'll kind of go in order. So you have mice and rats. Those I'm not too concerned about at this point. The coyotes, the owls, the hawks, they all have a tendency to do a pretty good job of keeping those down pretty well. Not really too concerned about them otherwise because the population is not all that big with the snakes as well. The rabbits, jackrabbits, I think we're going to be able to exclude the jackrabbits from a lot of the property with the fencing we just did. And the trees and plants are generally big enough to get past them and not have an issue for the most part. I think we're okay there. The challenge right now is javelina. We've basically fenced the whole property in as of today, and we have a little bit of shoring up to do on the white metal fencing at the front of the property. We only went up 2 feet with harbor cloth.
We're going to go 4 feet.
Ordered some 4-foot harbor cloth that came in yesterday. We're going to work on that tomorrow and finally have that done. I think that'll exclude the javelina and a lot of the coyotes, honestly. So the other thing that we're kicking around and a lot of you guys have suggested is a dog. The challenge we've had up until tomorrow is that we didn't have a way of effectively keeping a dog inside the property. And as of tomorrow, hopefully, we will. So
I've started dog shopping.
You can't see her, but Nikki's excited too.
Our future daughter-in-law is cheering over there.
Yes. Yep. So I think it would be really, at this point we're kind of looking more seriously at that. Obviously with that, we could maybe have a couple different sized dogs. I'd want at least a couple big dogs that can take care of coyotes or any two-legged varmints that might try to wander onto the property unannounced. But mainly for the larger predators. We do want to have livestock guardians, so we want to make sure we have something that can be in with the sheep and the goats and take care of them. And then we are considering maybe some smaller dog or two as well that are good ratters. So that would be neat to have somebody that can go after the birds, quail.
Yeah.
But the challenge, of course, will be making sure that they aren't digging up all of our plants.
True.
So there'll be some training involved.
All right, so we have G. Rogers. Hello.
How's it going?
Tonto, have you considered vermicompost, worms to fertilize?
Yes, so we actually are trying to do that in place. So we really do the best we can to encourage and transplant worms into all of our tree rings. And so that kind of is natural. We have most of the fertilizing that we do is composted or composting pig manure, and worms love that stuff. So we found worms in almost every tree ring that we've been able to basically do some of the pig compost into. So we're hopeful that we can kind of do that in place where we want them. I don't know that we'll try to do that extensively separately. So as a separate vermicomposting, say, bin, although we may.
Yep.
So we definitely have the space. That's not an issue.
All right. Happy Livestream anniversary.
Thank you.
And then G. Rogers, have you ever grown persimmon tree or plums?
The answer is yes to both. So we have 2 persimmons on the farm right now.
Yep.
We have a Fuyu persimmon and a chocolate persimmon.
Yep.
Brand new. We just planted those actually this year. So this winter as bare root. And they did well over the summer. They grow a little bit slow for the first couple of years. On the old farm, we had a Fuyu persimmon that fruited well, but we couldn't get the fruit past the birds in the summertime. But it did fruit really, really well. And then plums, yes. So we have Santa Rosa plum, we have Burgundy plum, we have many different plum apricot hybrids that are similar to those, plum cherry hybrids that are similar to those. So yes, several different plums if you want to consider that. It's one of our more populous types of fruit actually on the farm.
Yeah. All right, so we have, Dwayne is losing it. Cut, LOL. Kids, close your eyes. All right, G. Rogers, what's the best sweet grapevines to grow here, Phoenix?
So sweet grapes. Assuming that you're looking for grapes to eat. By far, my number one pick for that would be...
Flame.
There you go. So flame grapes, they are wonderful, sweet red grapes. They have virtually no tart. They produce abundantly, very, very young.
No seed.
No seeds at all. Yep, they're completely seedless. They're almost overproductive. They produce for a long period of time. So usually you start getting a harvest in June. You're not done till sometime in July. They make a wonderful wine if you're wanting to do that. But yeah, wonderful sweet table grape. It is a red grape. They're a little on the small side, but they do taste really, really well. Obviously, the other one would be Thompson grapes. Do fantastic as well. Those two varieties you can't go wrong with. The Thompson, slightly larger grapes.
Green grape.
And they're green. Yep. So, but also seedless. So I wouldn't go beyond those two, honestly.
Yeah, as far as table grapes, those are good ones because they seem to do very well all around.
Yeah, they both produce well. They produce young. You can trellis them however you want to. Prune them back nice and heavy. They just come back stronger and produce better for you. So.
And you can make wine with them.
And you can make wine with them.
All right, so dogs are a great idea.
Yeah. You guys have been suggesting that since we've been here, and we've had some great suggestions there. And we're finally to the point now, because of the javelina, that we can actually come back and do it.
I said we offered a grand dog, and you said no.
I don't want to hear about grand dogs. We want grand babies. Those are not the same, okay? We've got the audience that's heckling us over here.
All right, so Alan, cool on the pup. My shelter rescue is awesome.
Oh, very cool.
Then we have don't get any type of terrier. They are bred to dig, and no amount of training takes that instinct from them. I had to fence everything I didn't want dug up.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah, and I remember we had a toy fox terrier that was named Butch when I was growing up. And that little thing was, first of all, it was a psycho. But yeah, same thing. Would just dig everywhere. So good note. We'll remember terrier off the list.
Okay. Daryl, are y'all going to clip the turkey's wings?
Do you want to answer that question, sweetheart? Somebody almost had a breakdown today.
So yes, we did clip 6 of the turkey's wings, all the females, one side today, and it was heartbreaking for me. I had a hard time. I felt like I was taking something away from them.
The gift of flight.
I know. It was so sad. Then letting them out on pasture and then them trying to fly to get up on the fence and they couldn't.
It was great.
I felt really, really bad.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you on the flames.
So we did have one of the toms fly over there, though. Cuddle Tom still got over the fence today. So.
All right. So hello, everyone. Hello,
Howdy.
Genoa Farm, and happy live anniversary. I love you guys. I watch on all my accounts. I learned so much about Arizona and what works by watching you. Love you.
Awesome. Thank you.
you.
We love you guys. All of you guys.
Okay. What about blackberries?
Oh, yeah. So now, when you say what about them, who is that? Cynthia? So yeah, Cynthia, we've got 2. Well, technically we have 3 varieties
4.
of blackberry.
Well, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
3 because one is
We've got one coming.
a double.
So we've actually been the Primark blackberry is the best blackberry, in my opinion, to grow here in Arizona. Makes a fantastic large blackberry. You get 2 seasons. So you'll get one in June-ish, and you will get one about now. We actually just had a ripe blackberry, about a week ago? Maybe 2 weeks ago? I think you guys might have been, Austin, you might have been here when we had it. I can't remember. But you get 2 seasons off that Primark, and it's a fantastic one. More of an upright vertical bush, so it's easy to control and does really well. The Triple Crown Blackberry we don't have. We thought we were getting one from the old farm and wound up bringing a Primark instead. But the Triple Crown would be our second. Now, we're bringing the Triple Crown back. We actually ordered a bare root that should be here sometime this winter that we'll be planting. We're going to pull the Primark up and transplant that elsewhere on the farm. The second one that we have. We were testing the Loch Ness this year, which started out slow and then came back nice and strong. Has to be trellised. And the Colombian Giant, which also grew really well over the summer and also has to be trellised. So we have those two. Now those are not primo canes, meaning they did not fruit this year. We should get fruit on all of those canes this coming spring. So we'll see how they fruit. We did have some Colombian giant fruit. One Colombian giant fruit is about the same size as a Primark. So we'll see just how giant they get.
All right. Does Reed at RSI have grapes?
I don't think so. With Reed, we did what he calls a contract grow with him in order to get this farm up and running. He took a lot of scions from the old farm and basically bred those for us. We brought them here and he sold some. He also took some cuttings from the grapevines there. I think we have the Manukas from the old farm. But he grew those out specifically for us. Now he does do some rootstock that he's got growing out. But he had to order some of the wine grapes for us. So I don't know whether he does or not. The challenge with that is it's very hard to make money with grapes because, as you guys know, Flame and Thompson grapevines you can get from Home Depot and Lowe's. You can get them bare root, and they're usually about $10 or so. So, he's a small business, and, you've got to be able to make money. And the challenge is when you can buy, a small start for $10 at Home Depot, he can't make money doing that. So I don't know whether or not he has them. My guess is probably not, but it's worth asking.
Yeah, he had them because we got half of ours from him. So,
yeah.
All right, Slam Boy. Hey, y'all.
Hey, how's it going?
Had a dead coyote in the street overnight. Looked at security camera and saw a wild donkey. They can be mean.
And that's true. So they'll kick them. And actually, the donkey, before we went down, considering the dogs, we were just talking about this morning with the dogs and the donkey.
Yeah.
And what did we agree?
I think we were going to get both because we were talking about getting a donkey for a livestock guardian. And so we're thinking maybe to do the donkey still in with the livestock and have the dog for the property.
Right. So, yeah, they can be. And they are very protective. That's one of the things that I like about the donkeys is, especially if they're going to be in with sheep and goats, is they're very protective.
Yeah.
Especially if they're by themselves, from what I understand. If they're by themselves and they're used to having the sheep and the goats around them, that's their crew, that's their family, and so they will protect them. So, and they're loud when there's something there that they don't like. But I'll tell you what, sucks for the coyote, but that's pretty cool about that donkey.
Yeah, but having wild donkeys running around.
Yeah, well, especially like up north, like Carefree, Cave Creek.
Yeah.
Kind of that area.
All right, Kylan, so what type of dogs are you looking into? Are you considering breeding them?
Oh, I don't know that we'll breed dogs.
Probably won't breed them.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll do that necessarily. But I know for sure we are looking hard at a Great Pyrenees. We have Lady. So our neighbor that's about a quarter mile north raises sheep, lets those sheep kind of wander a little bit. One of the reasons why this fencing is going to help us there as well. But he has Lady, who's a Great Pyrenees. She's with that flock all the time.
Yeah,
So
she's fantastic.
all year long. She's a wonderful dog. I mean, just a sweet, sweet dog. And she's big. So, I mean, she's tall. She's probably 3.5 feet tall. And that's at her back. So, yeah, but she's just a sweet, sweet dog. So I think I'm leaning heavy towards that.
That's what I was shopping for this week.
There you go.
She was really good with the pigs too. She was very curious, but she wasn't freaking out like
the boxer.
Pit
So
bulls,
yeah, he's got a boxer as well, and the pits that we've had on the farm.
Yeah.
Before they they get the pigs wound up pretty good.
Yep.
So.
All right, recommendations on where to buy worms. Was looking at Arizona Worm Farm.
We've never been to the Arizona Worm Farm, but I hear wonderful things about them there, and definitely. I mean, that's a local business. It's what they do. Buy their compost. The worm eggs are going to be in there. That's where I would go. We had them naturally show up on the old farm. I don't know where. I'm guessing it was in a pot of a potted tree at some point. And then we had them all over the place. And we've basically done that here as well. So once you get some, take good care of them. Give them something to eat. Give them some poop. They like poop. And they like table scraps. They like proteins. So let me get my leg out from underneath here. But they like proteins. So, you've got, obviously meat is an option. We just talked about poop. They like pig manure, that kind of thing. But yeah, proteins, they'll eat your table scraps. So you can even compost in place. So once you get them, if you're going to get them from them, is, give them a home and keep them well fed, keep them covered, keep moisture on them. That's the key with worms here is constant moisture, including the winter time. So if you're going to have them in garden beds and things like that, if you put those beds to bed over the wintertime, make sure you continue to water because those worms are going to need that water and feed them.
All right, so Daryl, donkeys kill coyotes, and then Slam Boy, he was just referring to Rob, that Walmart bait fridge, so has worms.
Oh, that's very true. And we've actually seen some night crawlers in our pig manure. So I don't know where those came from. I haven't been fishing in years, so didn't come from that.
All right. Donkeys are underrated. They will be your tireless worker for life.
I think so too. I think so too.
And then Slam Boy says, I keep donkeys in pairs.
Yeah, so now that's what I was concerned about that only because I wanted to make sure, obviously, that they have somebody to hang out with, but if they would do a good job of bonding with the livestock if they had another. Like I know geese, that's an issue with geese that we are going to try as well, is you need one. Because if you have two, they'll hang out together and they won't bond with the chickens. So I'm curious. That probably isn't the case with donkeys. I don't know. It sounds like you might know. Is that the case?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right, Rob, thanks.
Absolutely.
G. Rogers, are those your grapes in the bottles behind you?
Yeah, grapes are one of them. We were just talking about the fact that we need to move. We need to move our racks, but we have. I'm gonna try to count them off, or list them off to you. So we have fig wine back there. My eyes aren't that old.
So
yet.
yes, it's all wine that we made from fruit that we've grown either here or at the old property.
But not all grapes.
But not all grapes.
Right. So we have fig wine back there. We have Manuka, which is a grape. We have Thompson. We have Flame. We have pomegranate. We have blackberry. We have peach. And then we've got an open row down there that we need to fill. Probably with mulberries.
We have several other varieties out in the rack that we have in the front room too.
We do.
Because we have plum, we have the sherries.
Yep, we have the two sherries. We have the fig sherry and then the cran apple sherry.
Yeah,
so
we have a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you guys are going to have to come for one of the workshops or one of the farm tours because we usually have a wine tasting after that. So Kylan knows about that.
Yeah.
If he's still here.
All right, so Rob, I'd rather not spend money at Walmart. Then Jenny Bear, hello from Mesa. What size of pot type of soil would you recommend for starting potted blackberries? I ordered bare root, triple crown, and black satin from the urban farm, but never grown them before. Very good.
So the soil is not as critical if you're going to keep them in pots. We use the Kellogg's potting soil is fine. So remember that your potting soil, all that is a medium. So it's essentially just the basic soil. You're going to be fertilizing for years after that. So it's not as critical in my opinion, although it is organic and it's fairly inexpensive. So that's what we typically use and it does great. Blackberries do very well in our soil. So again, it's not too critical. The key with that is blackberries have a tendency to send out runners. So they will eventually struggle a bit in a pot. So I don't know if that's your permanent home for them. If it is, you may need to remove the pups and transplant those pups. If you have any space to plant them in your yard, please do that because they will do much better in the ground. If you don't have the space and you need to keep them in a pot, the key with those is to make sure you have some mottled sun during the middle of the day, especially during the summertime. Not during the winter. They're going to go dormant on you anyway. But during the summertime, in a pot, they will need some mottled sun, not in the ground. Full sun if they're in the ground. Did I answer that question?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know if I didn't.
We have, yes, you can keep donkeys in pairs. They will team up to protect the livestock.
Ooh, I like this. I would love to see them just beat up on something trying to get at the animals.
Yeah. All right. So G. Rogers, awesome. Slam Boy, yes, bonding. That must be for the donkeys as well. And then LG, geese are so loud and can't really stand up to a coyote, can they?
No, so they won't stand up to a coyote, but they are really loud, and they do a really good job of alerting the other birds. In this case, it would be with our poultry. They do a good job of alerting them. And geese, because they're large, some of the other predators have a hard time with geese because they're big birds. They're as bigger than our turkeys. Now, we have found that keeping the turkeys with the chickens is actually doing really well.
Yeah,
we have
really good.
Big Tom. So the Big Tom does a very good job. In fact, you'll see him basically just start staring up in the sky. Everybody stops. He'll make a noise. He'll start staring up in the sky like this, and he'll watch turkey vultures, hawks that we could hardly see. And he'll keep an eye. Everybody else is already back in the run.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it wouldn't. But we're hopeful that it'll help with some of the aerial predators. I think that's the goal. Because the turkeys eventually will be in a separate area.
Yeah. All right. If flame grapes are planted alongside a suburban concrete wall, would the reflected heat be an issue for them?
No, not so much the reflected heat. They're okay with heat. The issue is going to be shade. They do not do well with shade. The vast majority of fruit trees, we need to do a video on this. We had talked about it. But the vast majority of fruit trees need full sun. That includes Arizona. So grapevines especially, they need full sun all the time in order for them to do well. We're going to talk a lot about that when we get to pruning our grapevines here and showing you guys how much growth we get compared to what you'll typically find on YouTube. And the reason why is because we get so much intense sunshine. So the biggest issue there is going to be sunlight. They need the sun all the time. So if you're going to be planting them against a wall, keep that in mind. They need as much sun as they can possibly get. And I know folks, they want to take up that space, and I completely understand that. As far as the heat, no, you're not going to have an issue with that. We had grapevines that were right up against a western-facing wall. Hot as it gets here in Arizona, a western-facing wall, they were fine. The only issue is they didn't get enough sunlight.
They had the morning shade.
They had morning shade, and you could literally see how those they did fine. They didn't have any issues with the heat. The problem was they did not grow as aggressively as the rest of the grapevines.
Yeah.
On both sides. We had it on two different sides, and those were the two vines that did not grow as aggressive as the rest.
But they both did really good.
They still did fine. So you're still going to get production on those.
All right. Kylan. Oh, I'm still here. LOL. That wine was good. Especially that secret ingredient in the peach wine.
I know. The peach wine was so good, right? So we did, and I'll tell you what. So when we were back sweetening this mulberry wine, we went back to the peach wine that we were worried about, as you know. We went back to the peach wine to see how much sugar we put in, which was a lot. And so we actually wound up doing about the same amount of sugar in this mulberry wine.
Yeah. Kylan, you would really like the mulberry wine. So next time you're here, we might have to open a bottle early.
Yeah. We'll see Kylan again. He might be building our casita.
I know. That'd be cool.
That out. Yeah.
All right. Slam boy, geese are too messy.
Geese are messy. So are ducks. We're still going to try them, I think.
All right. Jenny, thank you so much. Yes, I am planting mine in ground, but got extra for my parents who can only grow in pots since they are renting.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
One of the things I can tell you, so with the renting situation, I agree. Pots generally are the right way to go. I believe you were getting a triple crown. That triple crown sends out runners like nobody's business very, very quickly. I mean, you will have that triple crown sprouting up everywhere, and very, very easy to take one of those as a pup and repot it. So if you were going to put one in the ground in a rental, that triple crown would be the one. And you can always dig that back up. They do transplant very, very easy, especially the triple crown. So.
All right, G Riders, any advice for a newly planted cherry tree?
Oh, I'm jealous. First of all, I'm jealous. We're working on a cherry tree here. If we can get the online nursery to actually get them in stock from Dave Wilson. But so I'm not sure where you're at. If you're here in Arizona, I'd like to know what type of cherry tree you have. As far as the tree, it's the same. It's a stone fruit. So what you guys see us do here with our peaches, plums, etc., it's identical. There's no difference, which is true of the majority of the trees we have here on the farm. So make sure you don't plant it too deep. Is it planted yet? Do we know?
We
Newly
don't know,
planted.
Newly
planted. Okay. So already planted. Biggest thing is nice heavy mulch. Make sure we're going into the wintertime, so you're not going to water too heavily yet. You'll fertilize in February, assuming you're here in Arizona, and protect the trunk, especially that first year. So, whether it's the 3-in-1 plant guard that we've shown you guys as an organic option for your tree trunk paint, or just the Arizona's Best tree trunk paint, definitely paint the trunk on those trees. All of those trees, until they get a good canopy on them, will get some sun damage, and you don't want that with your cherry tree. Fertilize as usual, February, May, and September. Irrigate it regularly, meaning deep watering, but infrequently. But you want to be on a regular schedule. Even here in Arizona during the wintertime, you guys know we've gotten exactly 0 rain this year or this season so far. So you do need to be irrigating it still, although not heavily going into the dormant season.
All right, Rob, thanks again.
Phoenix and Lapins. Yep. So we've got a sat lap. The Lapins we were looking for, we were considering the Lapins for a while. You have to let us know how that does for you. But yeah, all that applies to your Lapins. It's the same as any other stone fruit. So especially plums, it's closest to a plum, which is why plum cherries do so well here. Yeah, same thing.
All right, Kylan, free mulberry wine. I'm on my way. Maybe I'll just move into the casita.
There you go. If you build it, they will come.
All right, Daryl, I have 2 young Barbados cherry trees.
Yeah, so Daryl's in Louisiana. So you're probably going to be okay. The only thing is, you'll know better than I. The Barbados cherry did really, really well on the old farm until we got down into the 20s, and then it killed it. So I don't know whether or not you get that cold where you're at, because you're in Baton Rouge. So you may not get down to 20, but if you get down into the 20s, you're going to want to cover that tree. Yeah, we made that mistake. Otherwise, it should do fantastic there.
Yeah.
So especially with that humidity that you guys have down there. So the heat and the humidity should do really, really well with a Barbados cherry.
Yeah. All right, G. Rogers, thanks. All right, I think we're all caught up.
What? This was an easy one, you guys. It was. I think it's because of the couch. I like the couch. I'm more comfortable on the couch.
Definitely more comfortable.
It is. So this is our last live stream until Christmas.
Yep.
And New Year's.
Are we doing a New Year's one?
I don't know. When does it fall? What does New Year's fall on?
New Year's Eve is on a Friday.
So
New Year's Day
is Saturday.
So we probably actually won't do New Year's Day. So I don't think I want to try to do New Year's Day. So this will be the last one until February. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Do one the next weekend?
Probably not.
We won't be here that weekend.
Yeah. So yeah, we may not see you guys again until February. I know obviously we have a good time doing these. We consider doing them more often, but I think we may do that intermittently. So we'll see what we do as far as the schedule next year. So we enjoy spending time with you guys here. It's so unique because it's the closest thing we get. I mean, we're sitting here on our couch in our house and you guys are right here. For me, okay, full disclosure. So even though we've been doing YouTube for a few years, we both still get a little bit nervous, especially right now because, it's live for us, right? And so I get nervous too, even though it may not seem like it.
Doesn't seem like it.
I know. But I think that as we do these more and kind of in this setting, it's just easier.
Yeah.
And I feel to me, it feels like you guys are here, because we can see the comments and we know you guys are literally right there.
Yeah.
So it is kind of unique. So we may try to do this a little more often. And, we're also we're turning these into podcasts. And right now we're not doing anything else with them. We've got them on the website, on the podcast tab. But I think we may try to do some of that too. Because one of the things that we're running into is we're finding a lot of folks here in Arizona that are doing the same thing. So whether it's fruit trees or homesteading or anything like that, we're finding all these people that are doing something similar. And I think it would be pretty cool to do, like, whether it's through Zoom or Skype.
I didn't know we were going there.
I know. But to do something like that, because everybody's got something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys I know are in the city. And so, we talk about stuff on a larger scale, but you got folks doing it in the city that, they're tweaking things and
Yeah.
making it work
We learn stuff from people all the time.
constantly.
Yeah.
So I think that would be kind of neat. And it would be, have some guests on there as well. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so Kylan, how long have you been learning about trees and working with these trees? You seem to be a real live Wikipedia about every single type.
So we've been growing fruit trees technically since 2000. Okay, you got to go further back. I actually had fruit trees when I was a kid.
Cut this short.
Yeah. So we had some when I was a kid. 5 fruit trees in Southern California. Nothing else until we moved to Arizona. Had a lemon tree.
Yep.
And had only the lemon tree until 2011. I think it was either 2011 or 2012. Long story short, but I had a customer come in working for a supplement company that had some apples. And Kylan, you know the story. But that was kind of where it started. So that was almost 10 years ago. And we started trying things on our property in the city, quickly ran out of space, tested a whole bunch of things on the old farm. We're still testing things here. So it's been over 10 years, or right at about 10 years of trial and error and just doing it, you know? I mean, we talk about, we end everything with, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. And the point is we're just normal people too, you know? And so we're trying these things out. We've just had a head start on a lot of people. So we've just been doing it longer. So.
Yeah. And I think, for whatever reason, it seems like anything you read or learn about it stays in your head. So he's got so much information in his head that just doesn't go away.
It's true.
And it's amazing when he'll just say something. It's like, where did that even come from?
I don't know.
I learned it when I was in 2nd grade. And it's like, what?
I don't know that I learned anything about fruit trees in 2nd grade, but okay.
You may have.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both. So yeah, it's just a lot of experience and then research. I do have a tendency to be psychotic when it comes to learning new things. I cannot get them out of my head until I wrap my head around them completely and know them completely. And the thing with fruit trees and gardening and farming is I'm learning quickly that I can't know everything. I can't possibly know everything. And so it's working good for me because I'm always learning something new. And I can't learn it all. And so it just keeps going. And so I don't get bored with it because that does happen. So I learn something, do something,
good.
And I get bored. So that's not the case with this. So that
all
helps.
right. So Daryl, occasional low temperatures. That's for the Barbados.
Yeah.
cherry.
So as long as you stay above, so freezing mark or so and above, you're fine. Once you get below freezing, just cover it when you get below freezing.
Yep. Robert, keep holding that crypto.
Oh, yeah. Actually, over the last, 12 hours, 24 hours, I almost bought yesterday. And my son, we both do. And so we kind of do it on paydays. It was payday yesterday. And I was like, it's dipping a little bit. I think I'm going to just hang in there for a little bit. And I don't know whether I should have bought this morning. I'm still holding right now. And waiting to see whether I need to drop a few more bucks into that now or tomorrow. So, but yeah, for sure, dude. We're hanging on to that.
G. Rogers, should I paint my lemon Meyer tree trunk?
Yes, unless you have enough canopy to cover the trunk, you should paint that trunk. Yes, for sure.
All right, Daryl, goodbye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
See you, Daryl.
Tonto, see you.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
See you on the next live chat. Desert Blacksmith, howdy, folks. Just got
Oh,
a
Dan.
barrel.
How's it going, Dan?
Barrel and putting the pig water nipple in it for Pua the pig.
Pua the pig. Yep.
Thanks for your knowledge and examples.
Very cool.
Speaking of.
Yeah. Lori just expanded our pig water.
I did.
She's going to put a video up on that. So
Yeah.
with 13, the barrel didn't work. The barrel wasn't working.
Yeah, we switched it to a IBC tote. Thanks for everything and have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye, Raina.
Man, this hour flew by.
It did. It did.
It's already 4:00.
I know. All right, guys. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So, for those of you guys who don't know, we do turn this into a podcast. It's called the Desert Farmer Podcast. It is on our website, so it's a condensed version of what we do here on YouTube. We just kind of take out some of the laughing, giggles, joking around, and get kind of to the nuts and bolts. But we have that on the podcast tab on our website. That's www.edgeofnowherefarm.com or www.eonfarm.com, eonfarm.com. So I'd encourage you guys to do that and definitely share it. That helps us here. So I think we're just about done.
Yep.
So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I don't remember all the rest of those holidays.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yep. For those of you guys who don't celebrate those, that's fine as well. But we are looking forward to a new year and a fresh start, as I think all of us do, and maybe a little bit of rest here over the next few weeks.
Nice.
Maybe. Doubtful, but it's possible.
Oh, MH just got on. Merry Christmas.
Oh, hey, MH.
Happy New Year, Alan. Bye, gang. Hope you have a puppy on the couch next time.
Oh.
G. Rogers, I appreciate you giving your time.
Absolutely, you guys. All right, we're going to sign off. Thanks, guys, for being here. You guys know, one last thing before we sign off. You guys know that we talk about it now all the time. You guys spend this time with us, and time is the most valuable thing that we have here on the planet. You guys choose to spend that with us. This is an hour of your time. Mm-hmm. We do not take that for granted. We really appreciate all you guys. We love you guys, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Adios.
Peace out.